Not all the time, but
Come on, man.
most
Get
of
it
the time.
together.
All right, man. All right. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unheard-of podcast with myself, Evan Brooks, and my cousin, Nick Brooks. Just want to apologize. I know last episode I mentioned that we were going to have a former teammate on of mine to discuss just the transition of being an athlete going into the real world. However, due to unforeseen circumstances, we had to push that back a few days. So we're still going to record that soon, but that'll be the next episode. For now, you just get us. But, we actually realized that we hadn't really given you guys a chance to really get to know us. And as the host of the show, why would you not want to get to know us, right? So without further ado, you guys will get to spend the next, 30, 45 hour even maybe with us.
Yeah.
Nick, how you been doing, man?
I'm all right, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm really hungry right now. But
Yeah?
hopefully the audience don't recognize that I'm a little hangry. So,
Look, man.
I low-key should have ate, but, it is what it is.
Sometimes we make stupid choices, but, I won't hold that against you, man.
This
you do it all the
guy.
time.
If y'all knew what was going on behind the scenes, y'all would be dying right now. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Hey, man, I know y'all been watching these Lakers this last week or two. Ev, I know you have.
Come on, man. Of course.
What's your thoughts, on the wall? Man? What's your thoughts? I mean, obviously we got one more game and then it's over. I mean,
man, first and foremost, I was telling my brother earlier today. I was like, man, like it's so crazy to me how we go like 7 years without even sniffing the playoffs. Without even sniffing the playoffs.
It's like we wake up and then bam, we here already.
Yeah, but look, first I still feel like there are some people who have a hard time kind of accepting LeBron as a Laker.
It took me a minute.
And appreciating him as a Laker. But like, I'm gonna be real, man. If you understand greatness, I don't care. When Kobe was alive, I still appreciated LeBron, man. When I first heard that he was coming to the Lakers, dog, I was like,
dude, I was at the movie theaters. I'll never forget.
I was with you.
Yes. Okay, yeah.
And I was the one who was like, bro,
were we together?
Bro.
What were we seeing? I can't.
I don't know, man, because all that mattered to me was that during the previews.
Yeah. I think it might have been like an Avengers movie or something.
Something like that. But I remember during the previews, man, that news broke. And I was like,
we were hyped.
Oh, my God. I was so hyped, bro.
I remember that.
But, I mean, yeah, we had that down year, which was kind of to be expected. I mean, before he got hurt, he still had us in the 4th seed. I think people forget that. And, I mean, injuries happen, bro. So I can't be mad at LeBron for not making this to the playoffs his first year. But he comes back next year, gets AD with him.
Yeah.
And just like that. I don't want to speak too soon, but, like, we're about to win the championship.
I'm not going to lie to you. I was kind of hurt when we gave up B.I. and Lonzo, man. I wanted them to –
I liked them.
Especially B.I. B.I. Yeah. I told you B.I. was going to be a star.
But this is the thing. Look, man, this is the thing. B.I. could not have flourished the way he did. He got most improved player for a reason. Yeah. You think he's going to get that on the same team with LeBron James, who dominates the ball?
That's
and
true.
It's not a knock on Bron. Like, it's just he is who he is. He's arguably the greatest of all time. You know what I mean? So he's gonna have the ball, which means I can't have it like that.
I hate to say it, but assuming he wins this championship, he's definitely number 2. He's definitely number 2. And I gotta give him that. I mean, obviously I got a little bias toward Kobe, but I mean, I still think even objectively, you got to put Kobe in the top 5.
Look, man,
personally,
there's a difference between being a fan of a player and a fan of the game.
Oh yeah.
So, as a fan of Kobe's my favorite player of all time. Always will be.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
sure.
I mean, I'm a grown man now. I'm not gonna be.
I mean, y'all do see we got this Kobe poster in the back. This is not by accident. Okay.
Oh yeah, man.
We have someone who literally wore number 24 in high school and in college. And, I mean, I wore number 8 when I was a kid. I mean, we grew up diehard Kobe fans.
Right.
You know what I mean?
However, I still gotta appreciate greatness. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta give respect to LeBron. Whereas, the dude is a physical specimen that we have never seen before, man. And people don't give him his flowers while he's here. You know what I mean? So,
and let's be honest, even Bron, like, just as what he's done in his career as far as like avoiding scandal, avoiding like he really hasn't dealt with, like, Kobe went through his issues with, obviously a situation with his wife, and
he didn't do it.
And he didn't do it. I mean, the only thing he was guilty of is obviously
infidelity,
stepping out on his wife. Yeah. But, Jordan had the gambling issues, and, other legends have had different issues, but Bron has literally avoided scandal. Like, the worst thing that he's ever done is the decision.
Right.
Like, think about that. Like, he's been a social activist. He's been there for every single cause, whether it be, Trayvon Martin, whether it be Mike Brown, whether it be George Floyd or whatever. Like, you can pretty much say that outside of Muhammad Ali, he's probably been the most powerful athlete we've ever had.
Right.
Not afraid. Put Serena up there and others, but
I love that about LeBron though. Like he is not afraid to target a specific fan base and stick with it and ride with them. You know what I mean? Like, he knows who his fans are, and if he's going to get flack for being who he is and talking about what he believes in, he don't need you. You know what I mean? I respect that.
I mean, I was at Yard House like a week ago having dinner for a friend's birthday. I was watching the game. It was game 3 when we lost. Wait, was it game 3? It was game 2 or game 3. But it didn't feel like we're about to win the chip, but it feels weird. It's like we can't really celebrate the way that we want to celebrate.
Of course, man. I mean, first and foremost, the team across the city that was really supposed to provide the real series of the playoffs, the Clippers, for those who don't know, they choked again. So all my Clipper fans, the homies that are Clipper fans, I'm laughing at you. I mean, I was kind of pissed, to be honest, that they didn't make it to the Western Conference Finals, because it was like, that was supposed to be the finals.
I gotta ask you, man, because obviously, dealing with Kobe's tragic passing this year, it's like, doesn't it seem like such a coincidence or just like too good to be true that we're about to win the chip of the year that Kobe passed?
It is a hell of a coincidence. I mean,
like I got kind of, because I was when I was watching the Clippers and Denver series, I'm just like, because the Clippers were the one team that I was afraid of as a Laker fan, where I'm like, dang, like, we're going to be in trouble if we play the Clippers.
I had faith. I knew it would be a good series, but I mean, I had faith. I didn't think the Clippers would win.
Like, I don't know. I had this thought of, like, is the league trying to help the Lakers win? Like,
I know, right?
You know what I mean?
Think about that stuff. But it's like, I mean, I don't know. I think with, like, in the bubble, it's so hard. There are so many factors that go into this. Like, you have players. The Clippers were one of 2 teams who voted to end all of it and go home.
That's true.
But on the other hand, the other team was the Lakers. You know what I mean? So
they're tripping though. If I'm getting paid $100,000 a game to go play, bro, you tripping.
Bro, I'm staying.
Get your money, man.
I mean, at the end of the day,
it is guaranteed. So
I mean, I love hooping, but like. And I get it. I think it was noble of them to take that stand, because obviously, as black people, we feel enough is enough with all these things going on, and they made that vote when Jacob Blake's situation had happened. Yeah. So I mean, I get it, but it's better for them to remain on that platform, because if they just go home, I mean, what's the alternative? You know what I mean? Like, go home, that platform that they have to speak on these issues is no longer there. So,
because I saw both sides of it. Right. A lot of people saying it'll take the focus away, but I mean, at the end of the day, because Stephen A. even said, it's like, dude, this is your job. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's a little bit different than like the average 9-to-5, employee or whatever, but it's like, you sign a contract, like, you got to hold your end up. Your end of the deal, you know what I mean? You can't just kind of decide like, oh, I'm just not gonna show up to work.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
We all have jobs. And I can't tell my job like, hey man, I'm the only brother here. Y'all don't understand me. I ain't coming to work. Like,
I mean, you can. I mean? It's just there's repercussions.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like, I can't be mad if they fire me. You know what I mean? So it's like, look, man, a job's a job.
It's like, in a way, like, obviously the NBA has done a great job of, like, being pro player and being a player-friendly league. But at the same time, if you kind of go too pro player, you can kind of, like, lose your stance as a business. You know what I mean? Like, it is a place of employment at the end of the day.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's dope. I think it's dope that players have kind of been able to take their own destiny and run with that in their hands. But, like, there still has to be some level of, you know, and I do feel, as far as from a league, like the top of the league, like Adam Silver.
Right.
There has to be a level of respect for him. As far as, like, teams and stuff like that, I mean, people get on players for leaving their teams and all that stuff, but, like, these managers don't care about the players.
Hell no.
You know what I mean? They really don't.
It's just like at work. Dude, I literally have been at jobs where they're like, we'll fire you, and we don't have to give you a reason why. Right. They'll just fire you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Every job app you fill out. Yeah. Like, it's, you know, say, I understand that. They do say, I understand I may leave without a reason why or whatever. So it's fair, but they're letting you know we may fire you without a reason why. So it's like, look, it should be.
I mean, I don't think that's fair. Personally, I feel like they owe you a reason, but
I do too. And in most cases, they're going to, like, I think they just do that. They say that just to say that, but I think most cases, except for actually the one job I've ever been let go from. Mm-hmm. The one job I've ever been let go from, they actually were shady.
Bro,
I used to work at I was a bus boy when I was 19 at Outback Steakhouse in college, man. And
it was like, you're not cleaning fast enough.
No, facts.
That's what they said.
Yeah, like but the thing was, I wasn't cleaning fast enough, and they would kind of let me know that, but they didn't, like, have a talk with me and be like, hey, we're gonna let you go.
Right.
It was just like, you know, I got what shifts I got, and that was that. But the way they did, but the way they did it was so foul. So, like, the dude who replaced me, my last shift was his first shift. So we worked together on my last shift, and they're like, "Yeah, this is the new guy." They introduced me to him and everything, and then it was just like, I never got scheduled again.
They didn't tell you weren't gonna be.
No, they didn't say anything. Like,
they didn't stop going to work, or
they didn't tell me I was fired or anything like that. I just never worked there again.
That's cold. But see, that's why everybody need to get a business. Okay.
Hey, I'm telling you, I had another job though at the same time, so I was like, all right, whatever. But I thought it was foul. Yeah. So, like, it was funny. I remember when I first got promoted at the job that I'm at now. This is 3.5, almost 4 years ago.
Right.
When I first got promoted, I was like, I'm going to Outback Steakhouse. I'm petty like that sometimes, bro. Like, I went to Outback Steakhouse, like, because I felt like they used to treat me like I was like the youngest one in there. Yeah. You know what I mean? By far. So, like, I felt like they used to treat me like I was incompetent, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, they would really, like, bully you for being young and not knowing how certain things went or whatever. Yeah. And I was like, man, F these dudes, like, and women, like, they over here, like, acting like this is what it ain't like, one day I'm going to be somewhere way above this. You know what I mean? And I'm like, you guys think you're funny because you're laughing at somebody busting tables, but, like, it's a college kid.
I had the same experiences when I was working at, remember that Pacific Theaters job I had for like a year? I was like 18, 19. And, I mean, dude, we're making pennies on a dollar, you know. Minimum wage is like $9 an hour. Yeah. You know, I mean, compared to other places in the United States, I should be grateful, but this is LA we're talking about. But I hate the whole power trip thing, man. Like, people in, you know, these manager roles and supervising positions, just, it's like, you can tell the ones that have low self-esteem and they're trying to place that on you to make sure that they make it known that they're above you.
But, I mean, you got to think about it, though. Like, realistically, whoever is a child and is like, when I grow up, I want to manage a movie theater. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you already know, like,
most of them end up there not by choice.
Yeah, not by choice. They just end up there because they weren't good at anything else.
All right.
And they did a good job at whatever job they started off as, and they got promoted to a manager. But because they're not good at anything else, they stay there.
I knew like within the first couple of weeks of my first job that I could not work for somebody for 40 years and retire.
I feel you.
I can't do it.
I feel you.
I'm doing it right. Like I'm doing my 9 to 5 now, and I'm doing my entrepreneurial stuff and real estate and stuff like that. But you know, it's a means to an end for me. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna be doing this in 10 years. You know what I mean? So, because I think we all I value freedom more than anything.
Oh, I know you do. I know you do.
You know, I was trying to avoid getting a job. You know, as much as I possibly could. I did not want it.
I know. I know, man. But hey, I mean, sometimes, Nick, you gotta swallow your pride a little bit. Understand that just stepping stones.
I ain't got no pride, man.
Just stepping stones. But
I'm just business minded. That's all.
Oh, I know. I know. You just gotta I mean, for me, I value security and stability. You know what I mean? So things like health insurance and stuff like that, they play a role. Like I would have quit my job a long time ago if it weren't for the fact that nah, man, you need
security.
You need that security. Right. Until, whatever it is you want to do comes along and presents itself in a way that you can maintain that stability.
Right. And I mean, I think it's kind of a character check too. Like if you can work a 9 to 5 and work on your stuff outside of that,
right.
To get inside of that job, in years to come or whatever, that's a different type of hustle.
Yeah, for sure. Because a lot of people are just content. They feel, I mean, most people are tired after that 9 to 5. And it's not because they're out hustling on their feet or whatever all day, although some are. But mentally, you're like, man, I've been doing this, whatever. I've been writing all day or whatever. And some days are tougher than others. And when you get home, you just want to chill. Obviously, it's COVID right now. So, I mean, luckily for me, when I clock out, I'm already home. But
yeah, it ain't for me right now.
but yeah, I mean, it's tough. So when you can challenge yourself to be like, no, I got these other goals, and you're excited to hustle and do, try to accomplish something else outside of what you're already doing. Yeah, that's something else. I mean, for example, to be honest, this podcast, man, This podcast, although we're nobody right now, you know what I mean? Like, ain't nobody watching us like that.
Man, we are somebody. Just the world that don't know it yet.
Yeah, we're nobody to the world right now. You know what I mean? But, I'm excited for this because it's something I'm passionate about. I mean, we're talking about, obviously, this episode, we're just kind of having regular conversation. But, in general, we're really looking to help people. You know what I mean? If it's only one person, which we already have seen, we've reached.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's not about the money. It's not about accolades or fame or nothing. We feel like we have something that people should hear.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I mean, at the end of the day, when you find something that excites you, because I'll be honest with you, this is the first time I've found something that excites me like this since I've played basketball.
That's big, man.
Seriously. I never thought there would ever be anything again that would excite me. And I'm not going to say that this excites me as much as basketball did, because that was my first love. And I don't think there's another love that I could ever have like what I have for basketball. Yeah. But to find passion in something, to find joy and excitement about doing something. Right. I haven't had that until this. Right. And that speaks volumes.
I'm gonna tell you something. I feel like you don't know what your passion is until you want to do it and you're not getting anything monetary back. Right. Literally, we're not getting anything by doing this. In fact, we're actually giving to do this. Right. So when you can spend your time, your money, your effort into doing something that literally you're not getting anything back initially,
you gotta have some love for it.
You gotta have some love for it. Exactly. It just is what it is. I mean, Obviously, you spoke about basketball, and we're gonna touch a little bit more about that on our next episode.
A whole lot.
We got a lot of stuff coming, but yeah, man. Let's pivot a little bit. Let's what you think about Trump catching COVID, bro?
Bro, I mean, I did a little video on my Instagram this past Sunday.
I'll be honest. I think they lying. I don't think he got it.
Honestly, I don't know what to think about that because it's like, look,
bro, he's 74 years old, bro.
Yeah. Now, look, apparently they're saying that he's saying like he's cured from it or something like that already, right?
Yeah.
Which we all know, like they tell you if you get it, you got to stay in quarantine for like what, 2 weeks, 10 days, something like that.
And it still lingers.
Yeah. So, excuse me.
That's nasty, man.
I know. Sorry, man. We're gonna cut that part out.
No, we're not.
But nah, like for a 74-year-old man to contract this virus and then just be like, oh no, I'm good. And I know you saw that video where he took his mask off and he's like fighting. He's like fighting the coughs, bro. That was comedy. But like, look, this is the thing. When I consider whether or not it was for real, what I ask myself is like, what is to gain? So it's like,
there's a lot to gain.
So like, look, if he were to say, yeah, I feel you, there could be a lot to gain. So like, if he were to say, he says I caught it, and then he says I'm cured.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, yes, his intent could kind of be to like show everybody that it's not that serious.
Yeah.
But then it's like,
but he'll look like a hero though. Because think about it. If he's over here bashing people saying that, or, like the virus is not, something to worry about, it's insignificant, and he gets it and then in turn fights it and, gets rid of it or whatever, he's going to look like a hero. He's going to prove all the people that are saying that, okay, COVID is something to be scared of and wear your mask and do all this. If he beats it,
it's too late. It's too late, bro. You know why? Because if this had taken place before over 200,000 people died and they're claiming it's from COVID, then okay.
But it's like 4 weeks until the election. And then plus that whole tax thing came out where he only paid like $750 or something like that.
This is the thing. Yeah, that was ridiculous.
That was ridiculous. It's a perfect way to save his ass. Like he's not trying to.
Yeah, but this is the thing. To me, I'm like, look, bro. All you're doing is shooting yourself in the foot, in my opinion, because now you're making us out to be idiots. Like, we're supposed to believe that you caught this and
he's not trying to cater to us.
He's trying to cater to him, but who has to vote for him? You see what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, but his base is his base. Like, I don't think.
And they're idiots usually, but like, like, look, bro. But it's like, look, even they can't be that like small-minded. Like, you can't be that blind. You know what I mean?
You'd be surprised, man.
It's like, of course, some will be, but the thing is, it's like,
dude, I saw an interview on CNN where they were asking people like, hey, if Trump ends up losing the election, are you gonna believe that the election was rigged? And they said, yeah. And then so they were like, okay, so the only way that the election is valid is if Trump wins, and they were like, yeah.
What sense does that make though? Like, who is this guy for him to be the only president in U.S. history where they're like, nah, it was rigged? Like,
I mean, I read something about how Trump is like, one of the, I guess the way that he influences people and he's kind of hypnotizing or whatever. I'm just like, you're not hypnotizing me. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
He sounds like an idiot as far as I'm concerned.
Like, I cringe when I watch him speak.
To be honest, in a way, it's kind of laughable when I hear him speak.
Yes.
I literally laugh.
Yes.
Not because I think of what he's saying is amusing, but it's just like, it's laughter out of like, I can't believe
this guy is the president of the United States or any country.
Yeah.
Because the dude is like, that's like, it's like.
It speaks more about like who's here.
Right.
Like who is voting, who is Who are the people that we're living with on a day-to-day basis? And it's not about Republican, Democrat. I don't give a damn if you're a Republican or a Democrat. Yeah. It's different being a Republican than being a Trump supporter.
Right.
They're like, those are two different things as far as I'm concerned. For sure. I don't have a problem with people who are Republicans, but if you're a Republican and you don't denounce what Trump is doing, right, you're part of the problem.
Because there are things, I mean, let's be real. There are ideologies of both parties that I'm sure we both agree with.
Yeah, absolutely.
And ones that we don't. Yeah. You know what I mean? Definitely ones that we don't. But it's like right now it seems like it's so like clear cut that like if you're with one party, it almost seems like you're, you know, I can say you're a racist or something like that. Exactly. Like there is never a time in my life, there's never been a time in my life where I looked at the American flag and felt offended. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like just the American flag, not the Confederate flag. Not this old Blue Lives Matter thing. Like, just the American flag. Yeah. Like, I've never looked at that and felt offended until now.
I mean, the crazy thing is that you got people who are offended by the Black Lives Matter symbol or the writing on a T-shirt or whatever. Right. But then there were whites only signs for decades.
Ask them how they feel about that.
Exactly. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. I mean, like I said, I feel like it's just a ploy to get more voters. I don't think he really had it. I mean, dude's not healthy. Mm-hmm. He's not a healthy guy at 74 years old. It doesn't make sense how you can catch COVID and then be cured of it after 4 days.
Right. And I'm not, I mean, I don't know anything really about his health. I don't think he's unhealthy.
Bro, he's obese. But he's clinically slightly, morbidly obese. He's like 240 pounds. He's like, or 250 pounds, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, he just ain't healthy enough that COVID would not be a problem.
Right.
He's too old for that.
Right. I mean, like I said, I told you, I think I caught COVID like way back before it even. And I don't know what the hell was wrong with me. It was like 3-4 weeks. I was going to school because I just, we didn't really know really much about COVID. I remember someone telling me about it, but I kind of brushed it off. I didn't really take it too seriously. But that was back in like December. But yeah, man, I remember like kind of losing my sense of smell and taste a little bit. So I definitely think that I had it at some point. I mean, I don't have it now, obviously, but yeah,
and I know I don't because I just got tested the other day, y'all. So shout out to that negative result. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
But no, I mean, obviously it's definitely affecting people. I know people personally who have been affected by it. You know, their family members have died from it, or they've had complications. I mean, one thing I will say about this, not to say that there's a silver lining in people dying, of course, but I do hope that people use this as an opportunity to really take their health seriously.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
knowing you, I knew you were gonna say that. But I agree, man. I agree.
Nah, man, it's just facts, man. Like, we treat our bodies like absolute crap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we get one body, okay? We can't replace this thing.
Yeah. But one thing I'm learning, like, honestly, I'm learning about the difficulty. Like, when we first went vegan, we both did it like cold turkey, right? Yeah. And we went and we did a pretty solid job.
I did a hell of a job.
You did a hell of a job.
Speak for yourself.
Look, no, you did a hell of a job. I did a pretty solid job, but this was 3 years ago?
That was 2018 when we did that.
2 years ago. Yeah. So ain't no way it was only 2 years ago.
I know it was 2018. No, I remember the date that I decided not to eat meat again. It
had to be early.
That was December. I stopped eating meat December 26th of 2017.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So it had to be early 2018.
It was right after Christmas. As a matter of fact, people thought I was a lunatic for not eating my grandmama's gumbo that Christmas.
I remember that.
And I love gumbo. That was my favorite food.
I mean, who doesn't? But what I've learned, because I've started to eat like seafood again, chicken, Still no like red meat or anything like that. But what I've noticed is how difficult it actually is to break yourself off of that once you fall back into it. And so for people who never even got out of it,
yeah,
I see why it's hard for them too. Especially
as far as making the switch from like eating a lot of meat and stuff.
Yeah,
to not,
because especially when they don't know that there may be anything wrong with their bodies. They may feel perfectly fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
your body gets accustomed to things. Like I remember literally when I stopped eating, when I was eating, I stopped eating meat, I stopped eating dairy, I stopped eating eggs. I went full-fledged vegan.
I remember.
In 3 weeks, like I had bad like skin, like eczema on my skin. I was looking like a reptile. Within 2-3 weeks, it was completely gone. My skin just cleared up like crazy. All the inflammation that I had in my body just completely left. Like it was like my body just got healed.
Yeah.
But I
didn't have those results, y'all. That's why I started eating chicken again.
This guy. No, but dude, remember we was going to the gym, we were lifting, and you lost like body fat. You got a little bit thinner, but you got stronger. So that's what happened to me too. But I got too skinny. True. I had to eat seafood again.
This guy. Yeah, no. I mean, soon I'm about to go cold turkey again, man. I'm about to get on this. I'm going to try to get this Dr. Sebi stuff. Yeah. Y'all haven't heard of Dr. Sebi, y'all better look him up. But most of y'all have heard of him, I'm sure.
And I mean, obviously with like, with COVID, man, I mean, as far as the health thing is concerned, like most people don't have, direct access to healthy foods like that. So, true. I mean, I recognize that, but, there are changes that you can make. There are some things that you can, stop doing. You don't have to drink soda every day.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can drink water. You can literally be like, all right, I'm not going to drink soda or sweets. You know what I mean? Those are things you can do. Now, you may not get access to like the gourmet salads and stuff like that, but you can do, there are some changes that you can make. And especially, as black folks, man, I mean, we lead in obesity and diabetes and heart disease and just you name it, we got it. You know what I mean? And the reason why I'm so passionate about it is because, like, I have type 1 diabetes.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I've had it since I was 6 years old. Granted, it's, hereditary or whatever, but, I was never an overweight kid or nothing like that. I have type 1. For those who don't know what that is, y'all look that up or whatever.
Why don't you just help them out, man? Maybe I don't feel like looking it up.
Nah, I'll just let them look it up. But yeah, I mean, there's differences between type 1 and type 2. But, for me, like, I wish that I would have taken my health the way that I do now, back when I was a little bit younger. You know what I mean? Like,
like before you found out or after? Like
no, just when I was a kid, like growing up, like adolescence through high school and being an athlete and stuff like that. Because I feel like it would have did wonders for me as a player for sure. I play ball too, for those who don't know. Like I said, we're gonna touch a little bit more on that.
Yeah, he was never really as good as his cousin, but we'll talk about that later.
Well, in the latter parts of our careers for sure, but as far as trajectory, we was headed to the same place. Don't get it twisted. Yeah. Don't get it twisted.
At a younger age, for sure.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, like I said, we're gonna touch on that later. but nah, man. But yeah, I mean, I hope that people, take their health seriously. I mean, it literally breaks my heart to see people dying at such a young age from stuff that I feel like can be prevented. You know what I mean? There's no reason why. Now, obviously, there's environmental factors. I'm not saying that there's not.
Right.
But just as far as food-inflicted diseases that we know could be prevented. Like, there's no way that someone at 35, 40 years old should be dying from obesity or heart disease or, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's just, it's really heartbreaking. So, yeah, man, take care of yourselves, please. Like, take care of yourselves.
Nick will cry if you don't.
Oh, my God. Nah, man, nah. But I might. Hey man, what you think about this whole Meg Thee Stallion Daniel Cameron situation? I mean, Meg Thee Stallion, has gotten a lot of publicity as far as kind of calling Daniel Cameron out in that SNL performance. you know, that kind of goes back to the whole, you know, being a sellout type of thing as far as being a black Republican and, you know, him getting flack as far as being that, but then also, you know, ignoring the needs of black women and what's been going on lately. You know, what's your thoughts on that, man?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, because I didn't fully catch it, but as far as being a sellout, I mean, the reason why is what's important to me, because like,
right. I mean, he's attorney general, so I mean, that's his.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that like a black man or woman is a sellout for being a Republican. No.
Yeah.
But when you are not paying attention to the struggles of your brothers and sisters, then you know, then maybe so.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I mean, I don't know. I mean, why was she, you know, basically calling him that? Or
I mean, basically, obviously, he's in charge of the whole. He oversees the Breonna Taylor case. I mean, he's the Attorney General of Kentucky, and so I believe that's his title. Hopefully, I'm not getting that confused. But you know, he pretty much was like, you know, I've done my job. You know, it was justified that the officers didn't get charged for Breonna Taylor's murder.
Yeah, he should have been called out.
Which, I mean, I think is BS, and I'm sure you think it's BS.
For sure.
I mean, I do think that, unfortunately, it's a catch-22 because we're in a time where you can present facts on something, but because everything is very polarizing and emotional right now, people aren't going to hear you. You know what I mean? So, not to say that that's the case with this, but you know, it just is the time that we're in. I mean, I don't know. As far as being the whole sellout thing, as far as being like a black Republican, I think we gotta have a little bit more kind of patience, or not patience, but we can't be having like a civil war within ourselves.
No,
you know what I mean? Like we gotta find a way to not attack each other, but see if there's a way that we can work with each other to get things done and come to a solution. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, if we're canceling each other, I mean, what you think the rest of the world is going to do?
Right.
I mean, what you think about that?
Well, honestly, I mean, I agree with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We can't really be canceling each other.
I mean, cancel culture is big right now. So
it is. It really is. I think, I mean, shoot, when they tried to holler about canceling J. Cole, man, I want to slap the taste out of everybody.
If you guys can't notice why he's looking down, we got a special guest.
My little, my little food here.
Yeah.
He had to make an appearance. We gonna show him to everybody.
I told him to put him away, but he just insisted.
Go somewhere, man.
But, you know, cancel culture is big right now, so.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, a few months ago they had tried to say something about canceling J. Cole. And I'll never forget it. Like, my sister hit me up and was like, what did your boy J. Cole do? I was like, what are you talking about? Like, first of all, J. Cole never does anything. So I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I look it up and I'm like, what did he do? So
that was on the Snow on the Bluff, right?
Yeah, the Snow on the Bluff. And I'm looking at, I'm like, and I listened to the song, and I was like,
it was a compliment.
Right. Yeah. I was like, are there really people out here mad about this song?
Yeah.
Like, are you crazy? Like,
if anything, it's a compliment to what was her name? It was No Name,
No Name.
Right? Yeah,
it was a compliment. Like, look, you can't be coming at us for not knowing what you know. Like, congratulations for being woke.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we all aspire to be such. But, like,
not everybody's there yet.
But not everybody's there.
Yeah.
And so it's your duty to enlighten us, not shun us for not being there. You know what I mean?
I mean, is it possible that you know, you can look at the whole Daniel Cameron situation and say that he's ignorant? You know, that he doesn't necessarily know any better, or am I giving him a pass by asking that question?
Somebody in his place personally, I don't feel is allowed to be ignorant.
Yeah. But I mean, people in those positions, and even like, officers and just people in those types of sectors of society, man, they think a different way. Like, they think very by the book, very fact based.
Definitely.
There's not a whole lot of room for empathy, unfortunately, in those positions.
But the thing is that just because there's a book, does not, to me, a book does not dictate what is right and wrong.
Yeah, I mean, you still got to be human at the end of the day.
Right, and the thing is like, look, man.
But I mean,
I'll take that as far as the Holy Bible, bro.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I don't agree with everything in the Bible.
Yeah.
So like, why am I gonna agree with every law that's been written by man? It's like, no, I'm not. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think we all have common enough sense to know what is not conducive for the progression of man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's true.
We should all have that level of common sense.
That's true.
What's fair, what's not, what's right, what's wrong. Like, we should all have that. So, and especially when you're in that high of a position.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, you're the one calling the shots. You're the one making judgment calls. Like, you have got to be fair.
Yeah.
But the way our system works, it's set up not to be.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just not fair.
It's just unfortunate because we got leaders in these positions that are either 80 years old or, just folks that are just not trying to care about everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, dude, why are both of our candidates pushing 80, man?
It's beyond me, man. Like, the one thing about Obama that helped him relate with so many people outside of the fact that, he's a black man or whatever.
Yeah.
He was younger.
Yeah. I think it was like 48?
He's 40-something.
Like 48 when he got elected.
But, like, that's the age where you are mature enough
to understand everybody.
Youthful enough at the same time to really lead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you have your experiences, and so that kind of helps you be able to lead, but you're not so old that you're going to, like, die in the Oval Office. You know what I mean? Like, Obama was the perfect man for the situation.
Oh, yeah.
But, like,
I mean, Biden and Trump look like kids compared to Obama. Like,
but they're like 30 years older. Well, 20-something years older.
I mean, personally, I think Biden's a better choice than Trump. Like,
of course. But it's like lesser of two evils.
It's not my ideal choice.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, to be honest, when I watch Bernie Sanders talk on television, I wish he was our option.
Oh, yeah.
I wish, man. Like,
I mean, but even he's very old, He's
old
up there too,
but he's not old in the sense where,
let me not say old. Let me say seasoned, okay? Just so people don't get
old
offended.
is old, all right? Look, he's old, but he's still there. Like, you know what I mean? He's not so old where it's like, okay, this guy is clearly going through dementia. You know what I mean? Like, sure. He's there. Like, he's sharp when he talks. He knows what he's talking about. He knows what he wants out of a potential presidency. Like, he's sharp. And I agree with a lot of what he says.
I just think we got to be honest. Like, the fact of the matter is, Trump is a moron. We know that. Of course, yes. He's an idiot.
Yes.
But the thing is, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like, he's not what's the word? Cognitively he's not cognitively, like, not there. You know what I mean? He knows exactly what he's doing. He's just an a-hole.
Look, man.
But Biden, literally, I watch him. I feel bad for him because I'm just like, he don't even know what he's trying to say sometimes.
Yeah, he be running out of gas in the middle of a sentence. It's sad. But you know who Trump reminds me a lot of sometimes?
Who? Kanye?
Nah, man. Me in the 5th grade.
This dude.
I'll tell you why.
I hope not.
Look, man. Only in this way. In the 5th grade, right? I was not a part of, before this point, I was not a part of like student council or anything like that. But do you remember like back in elementary, they have like a student president or something like that?
Oh my God. You was that?
Yes.
Oh,
so
wow.
I was not a part of
bad for the class.
Hey man, I was fine. But it was just, I wasn't the one who was like big into the student council and all that stuff. And 5th grade comes and I learned that I could run for class president.
Right.
And so I was like, yeah, I want to be president. So I run. I give a speech. I'll never forget it.
He was meant to do this, people.
Look, I will never forget it. I was not meant to do this, man.
You got a mic in front of your face.
Look, I was meant to talk.
Yeah,
but meant to be like a class president, like, nah. So, I mean, I was fine. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but like, how could you not be fine at 10 years old? The school is not going to place the weight of the school on your shoulders. They just do it.
For show.
Yeah, it's just for show.
Yeah.
So that's what it was. But I'll never forget. It was myself and 2 other girls, and one of them was like, my speech was all like, make a slam dunk of a vote, blah blah blah, vote for me. I was the cool kid or whatever.
Yeah.
The girls, one of them was like, I'll never forget it as long as it replays every time I think about this, the voice, because the voice was like real raspy, real annoying.
Yeah.
And she was like, this is not a popularity contest. And I was like, yeah, she's taking shots, right? But like, that was the thing. So basically, when I say Trump reminds me of me in the 5th grade, he just ran because he can, man. Yeah. And these people were dumb enough to elect him. Yeah. Like, I didn't like bring.
I'll take him as a joke.
School. Yeah, but like, that's what it was for me. I won. I became class president.
Yeah.
And it was just because I was popular.
You didn't really even probably want to be a president. You just did it because you felt like I wanted to win.
But like,
you were popular.
It was just like, people knew me. You know what I'm saying? So I won. But like,
I really didn't take him seriously, to be honest with you.
Me either.
I really didn't.
Me either. I was so shocked when I was watching that, the numbers come in.
Yeah.
I was like, is this guy really about to win?
Yeah.
But it seems like America just loves shock value. Like, when Obama ran, I was almost sure he was going to win.
Yeah.
Because it was something that was so different, but the thing about it is he deserved to win.
Yeah.
He was very well spoken. You know what I mean? He was very well spoken. He was just likable.
Right.
You know what I mean? He appealed to not only us as black people, but he appealed to the American people.
Right.
He tried to let it be known, I care about all of you. Yeah. You know what I mean? As far as Trump goes, it was like
he don't give a damn.
It was just like a roll call for all races to be like, okay, now's our chance.
For real.
You know what I mean?
For real.
Then like, so it's like shock and awe. Shock value is huge.
It's
so
like
they were just like, we're gonna surprise them. Everybody thinks that Hillary's gonna win. Let's vote Trump. So
it's like we've had to hide for the last 30, 40 years, after the Civil Rights Act of 65 or whatever. And then stuff started to slowly, die down to where, I mean, racism was still there, but it was just kind of, under the radar a little bit.
All right. Well, yeah, we probably should have touched on this earlier when we were talking about the Lakers, man. But I didn't want to end this episode without us giving our thoughts on something that obviously, as former ball players who love Kobe, hit us really hard.
Yeah.
So, I mean, tell me about how you felt when you heard the news. Where were you? Just tell me about when you heard the news, man.
I will never forget. I was at my girl's house, and I remember seeing some tweets, and I was looking at them. I was like, man, get the F out of here. Like, I literally didn't pay it any mind. Like, I was like, this is some hoax, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I remember I was driving to my house. I didn't think nothing of it. And I remember, was it you or was it Alex? I think Alex called me, or you called me, or maybe both of you guys were on the phone. Once I saw my phone ring, I remember
we were both on the phone. We were on a 3-way. I
think you guys both called me, and I remember I saw my phone ring and something hit my gut. I was like, yeah. It's for real. Yeah. Literally, I didn't have to answer the phone. I was like, damn. And then I think Alex said like, "Hey man, like brace yourself." And I was like, "Wow." Like my heart just dropped, dude. It's so weird because I remember I was at church that morning and it was just such a gloomy day. It was so weird.
I'll never forget it, man.
So weird. I mean, obviously it was winter time and you maybe would expect weather like that, but not in LA. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was sunny the day before, I believe.
Yeah. And I remember we were at dinner the night before. Right. Literally at dinner.
My sister's birthday dinner.
Right. Yeah. Where were you at that morning? Where did you call me from?
I actually was at an Airbnb with my sister, and we were cleaning up and preparing to leave. Yeah. And right when we left, I was following her. And she was getting ready to go take back her rental car. And I was going to scoop her, and then we were going to go back to her hotel where she was going to stay for, like, that night before she went to the airport to go back to D.C. And I'm behind her, and I'll never forget it because it made me never hear the song No Guidance the same again. I still love the song, but that song was playing and it went on the radio and it went straight from that to, and the crazy thing is, I don't even usually listen to the radio. I don't know why I was listening to the reason. I don't know why I was listening to the radio that day. Yeah. But I was. And that song is playing.
You were in your car?
I believe so.
I don't know why you listen to the radio.
I never listened to the radio. So, but that day I was. So, radio's on, No Guidance is playing, it goes off, and the radio DJ just like kind of nonchalantly like just breaks the news. Like he's like, sad news, Kobe Bryant has just died in a helicopter crash, R.I.P. Mamba, and it just cuts out. And I was like, what? When I tell you my head, it felt like my head shriveled, like it just shriveled up. Right. And I got punched in my gut at the same time. Yep. Like, and I was like literally struggling to breathe. Yeah. And the first person I called was my mother while I was driving. And I think I pulled over onto a side street. Yeah. And I was trying to my mom answered the phone and clearly she hadn't heard yet. Yeah. Because she was just like, what's going on? I literally couldn't, I was gasping. Like I couldn't get myself together to tell her. Yeah. And she's like, what's wrong? Are you okay? And then finally, I got the words out. Yeah. And she was like, oh my God. And it was just like, I felt, I literally it was like an out of body experience. I literally could not feel myself. Yeah. I felt like I died. You know what I mean? And then my sister, so I proceed to follow my sister. She goes to this car wash to vacuum out the rental. Right. And she didn't know either. So I get out of my car to help her out. That's when I told her that Kobe had just died. Yeah. And that's when I started crying. Yeah. And for probably, I cried the rest of that day, man. And then the next day, I went to work, wearing my Kobe jersey, and it was hard not to cry. People could see it on my face. Yeah. You know what I mean? I did not want to talk about it. I remember going out to the coffee area, and I looked out the window at work, and I just started crying. It's just crazy because this is your hero. Yeah. This dude was such a symbol to me in so many ways, in ways that, we'll touch on or I'll touch on next episode.
Yeah.
But this dude was such a symbol to me and such a hero to me. Growing up, I felt I learned a lot. I modeled my game after him, but I learned a lot outside of just being a ball player. Like the ball player that he was, but the way that he dealt with certain things, even the way that he dealt with his Colorado situation.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can learn a lot from stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
And the dude, the way he bounced back, you know what I mean? Like, just
it's a testament to his resilience.
Yeah, his story and the way that he went out, like only he could go out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, 60 points, bro. Yeah. Huffing and puffing. Huffing and puffing.
I remember watching that game looking like he can't stand up.
Yeah.
Literally.
He literally left it. He had already accepted the fact that, you know, this was his last season. A lot of people may not care.
Right.
You know what I mean? He cared enough about his fans and enough about the game of basketball to leave us with something that spectacular.
Yeah.
Like, the way he was gasping for air at the end of that game was just a testament to me, a testament of his selflessness.
Yeah.
The selflessness that people throughout his whole career swore he did not have.
Right.
And that was like, man, bro.
I mean, it represents, like, even from a life standpoint, you know, you want to do everything you can to leave everything out on this life.
Right.
You don't want to take nothing with you. It's a representation of that. Like, as long as I'm here and I'm doing this, I'm going to do everything that I possibly can do. Right. I don't want to leave here with anything in me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he did that.
He left no stone
as far as his career, and you can even say his life. I mean, let's be honest. He did more than 41 years of life than, you know, all of us together can maybe accomplish. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, you know, I kind of dealt with his death. You know, Nipsey's death hit me crazy, man. Like,
yeah, I remember.
It was crazy. Like, just feeling like one of my biggest fears is like dying at a young age. You know, feeling like I don't get to live out a full life. That's my biggest fear in the world. You know what I mean? And so the way that I felt about Kobe was the same way I felt about Nip, in the sense of, like, he didn't get a chance to see his kids grow up. He didn't get a chance to be a grandfather. You know what I mean? He didn't see 50 years old, you know? You know, unfortunately, we don't really know, you know, what we have until they're gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why it's important, you know, to just, you know, appreciate the people while we're here, man. People that are in our family, our close, you know, our loved ones, our friends, people that we admire. You know, we sound like broken records when we say that, but it's just the truth. We never know when it's going to be our time. I mean, it could literally happen in a matter of a second.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But, you know, let's go ahead and wrap this up, because your boy is hungry, okay? Like I said in the beginning of the episode, I should have ate. My bad, but, you know, want to give y'all something y'all can enjoy. But with that being said, man, what's one word that comes to mind when you think of Kobe?
Man, honestly, I would have to go with resilience. 'Cause I think that's what the Mamba mentality is really all about, man. No matter what you do, you have to keep going forward. No matter what happens, there's always going to be bumps in the road, but you got to keep going forward. So resilient for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say iconic.
Yeah.
Yep. Iconic.
It's not a bad one, man. It's not a bad one. But yeah, it's about that time for us, y'all. So be sure. Tap in the next episode, because we are going to really be tapping into some stuff I think we can all relate to, whether you're an athlete, whether you just have dreams or had dreams that maybe didn't work out or whatever. We've all been there, and we understand that, and we want to talk about that transition and how to cope with that. And yeah, I honestly can't wait for it, to be honest. It's going to be a fun one. But yeah, you guys make sure you tune in. But until then, like, subscribe, comment below, tell us your thoughts, give us ideas of topics you would like to hear us talk about, and if we like it enough, we'll shout you out on the episode. So yeah, Nick,
be blessed, y'all. We'll see y'all next time.
We out.